talk loud so you can hear me, okay? Um, I'm not gonna, I don't think I'm gonna to do any videos this weekend. It's the weekend before the shower, but I'm so excited. I don't know what's coming. I don't know. Again, you guys, this time could come and go. Again, be a marker. It's so important that you know the end days have started. We're there. So what's the first thing is us. Now, I hope, my spirit tells me, we got something big to look forward to coming up, right? Um, and from what we've put together. Um, but again, if if the 15th comes and goes, and we're still here, it's okay. It's okay because we're so close. It's we don't know what day, but we know we're the season. This is the season. Okay, this is the season. Um, so don't get upset. Don't get upset. This is why he wants all this shared with everybody. We need to share it with everybody, because he's trying to tell us he's trying to maneuver us through these times because of our ups and our downs and our highs and our lows. He's trying to maneuver us, okay? And so, of course, so the dog's gonna go crazy. I don't even know who it is. I don't even know what to say over that. I don't know. I don't even know what to say because I'm going to have to be quiet until he. She definitely should get her money back out of the doggy discipline classes, I think, because I don't see any difference. See? I don't see any difference. She needs to get her money back, I think. Arlo, no. I'm so sorry. I'm stuck here with him. What do you do? I'm stuck here with him. So, anyway, that's why he's do you understand what he's been doing this? It's really these, for years he'd say, I'm coming soon, get ready, I'm coming soon, get ready, I'm coming soon. And then it was, his return was imminent. Now it's now. So we know it's now. I mean, we don't know what his now is because when we think of now, we think right now, today, this very minute. Of course, that's how we are. But to him, now is a span, is a in a time span, right? But he's told us, it's the season. We're in the season, and that we know we have started these end days. I mean, the not you're in the end days. I mean the end days, right? We just don't know when. So this is why he's given us these tools, and he's come down and he's opened these mysteries to us because he said keep him to the end. Daniel and John, those are sealed and those are mysteries till the end. And we're at the end. And so he opened them. Again, I don't know why he chose who he chose to know him. I don't know. I'm just like you. I don't know. I fall off the couch 100 times a day thinking about it. Okay? But I know what I know. So, but I'm just like you. I wait every day. I'm just so excited. I can't stand it. Of course, everybody's looking to this weekend. I mean, the 15th. But you watch a few days before that, right? Ride goes early. Ride goes early. And I have to correct myself on something too, because I said that we're the mustard plants, right? I said we're the mustard plants. Well, we are. We lay the seeds, right? We're the bride. Okay, the bride lays the seeds, right? Okay, the mustard plant, and you don't know what the mustard plant is. The mustard plant is planted in the vineyards, because they help the main crop grow. The mustard plant is the one that gets all the yuck, the bugs, and anything that will hurt the crop. You plant mustard plants there because it takes all the blunt of everything. Okay, any infection or whatever that affects a crop, the mustard plants pull it away to them. It's like we're the decoy, over here, over here, over here, and all that comes here. So the seeds and the crop has a chance to grow clean. right? Without any decay, and they have a shot, right? Okay, so the mustard plants do. Mustard plants are planted in April and harvested in May. They're pulled in May. Now, we pretty much have been shown that we, the bride, we pull the mustard plants. We pull them. We're out in the field pulling the mustard plants. See? The bride, I'm telling you, bride gets extra rewards, and not everybody's the bride. Church and the bride's different group. Church gets to go, absolutely. They don't get to go when the bride goes. You know, they don't get to go. They weren't waiting. They were asleep. They had them soccer games just every weekend of the month, every single Saturday and Sunday. They didn't have time for them to come because it would interfere with their calendar, their schedule. Okay, the bride, well, we're all dressed in our wedding gear. We don't care about no soccer games. You know, we don't care about that. We don't care about that. We're getting married. Don't you know we're getting married? Okay. I love somebody said too. I remember. I have to say this. I'm sorry that I interrupt all the time, but you know, my mind just goes one place to the other. And Arlo, please. Who knows walking down the street? I don't know. Somebody wrote on a post, well, you people are just crazy if whoever heard of thinking you're wearing a wedding dress. There's people buying wedding dresses and getting them ready because they think they're really getting married. I never once thought that. Did any of you? I mean, really? I mean, he was in it too. Really? I don't know one no. Not no. See how they think? See how they think? The poor guy don't even know the truth, does he? He doesn't. But I will tell you, the bride, we get everything up there, right? Everything up there. So we don't need to go out and buy our wedding dresses. I just fried my mind on that one. But we're waiting, you know? So it's a difference. We're not going to miss our wedding. We're not going to miss our wedding. Okay? We get rewards for that. But we get to go. We get to go. We get to go early. We get to go early. So, anyway, again, remember I said the blood red moon, I can't imagine God not using it because they're for a reason. Specifics, you know, what were the sun and the moon and the stars? What were they made for? They were made for signs and seasons. That's why God put them up there. So that's all we have to look to, because they're there for specific signs and seasons. Blood red moon, definite sign. Definite sign. Not going to waste it. But will something happen right on that 15th? I don't know. Could be, you know. It's kind of, you know, his taking of the bride, you know, I don't think it has to be on a, you know, a lot of people think he'll come on a feast day, and I don't know. You know, it could. I'm not going to argue about that because I don't know. But since, you know, it's kind of the Gentile, right? I think that's just whenever the bride's ready, whenever that last one comes in, or whenever he's ready, whenever, totally in God's hands. I don't necessarily think that has to be on a feast day. But having said that, I don't know, because I don't think anybody knows about that, because it's not one of his feasts. You know what I'm saying? That is, it's just special. So, yeah, whenever he does, but of course he's already got it planned out. You know, we just don't know when that is, but we know it's soon. You get what I'm saying? So the 15th, all the signs are there. Everything's set up. Earthquakes, absolutely. All these earthquakes that's happening. You watch the earthquake, the global incident map, the earthquake map. Watch it every day. Watch them. It's incredible. I can't even believe it. Never. That he's already told us. That's it's more than them being in the diverse places now. We've bypassed those early labor pains. I mean, it's about birth time right now, okay? It's about birth time. And so they are right, boy, right there. And those are definite timing signs. So, and then people say, "Oh, they've been happening forever." Well, yeah, they have. They have. And we've been in that birth pain for a while now, right? But now we're starting that. I'm going to Lamaze classes with my daughter, right? So we're doing the, and any of you, of course, you've had children, you know the breathing. You know, at first you start slow, right? Okay, no, right before you deliver, you're in the. That's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. We're in the. We are. So, but don't get discouraged. Please, 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 please don't. Remember I said yesterday, go ahead with your plans. Do them. Because if you don't, you, first of all, you have to have faith. Well, where I'm at, he's got me. He knows where I'm going to go before I know, because he already knows what I'm going to do. So he's got me. I can't even take it anymore. So go ahead to go with your plans. Okay? Don't, again, common sense plans, right? But I mean, just live your life. Live your life as the bride of Christ, though. Still watching, still looking, right? Well, you're prepared. You're prepared. So you can't just stop everything in your life waiting for these days to pass. That's what I'm saying. Can't do that. Can't do that. Okay? Because what happens if they pass another and it doesn't? Could be a marker, or it could be exactly what it is, but there's so many days afterwards, God has a plan where this happens. See? But you've set yourself up for great heartache. You have. And you know, God doesn't want your heart to ache. He wants it to be full of joy. So, live your life. Be joyful, be loving, be happy. But don't cancel any of your plans. You do what you got to do. And He's got you. Okay? But I just worried about everybody. Of course I'll be disappointed. Of course I will. I'm not going to throw myself off the bridge. You know? I'm not going to turn my face away from Him because He didn't come on a day that everybody again thought He would come. But this is different than the times before. I mean, this is big. Again, where it comes at, that we all know the blood red moon is a huge marker. Again, historically, you can look back in the history of Israel and of history of God. So we know that. You know, it's just huge. And it all happening on Passover and being the 6,000th year that we've come into. And remember what I said, the epistle of Barnabas, Barnabas wrote in there, and he told those around him, he's going to come back, and it'll be 6,000 years. There'll be 6,000 years that'll pass, you know, or in the 6,000th year, or I can't remember word for word, but boy, that really perked my ears up because, see, again, flows right in. Again, and let's just say if that was one of the books maybe that should have been put in the Bible. All those people, you know, 1,000 years ago wouldn't have been waiting there. Really? It's going to drive me crazy. He's going to go around to every window. Arlo, please, stop it. I'm going to have to, you're probably going to see me just jump up right now and throw my head back and go in directions. If that book, you know, maybe that was one of them, had been put in there, but God allowed it. God allowed it again. The people 1,000 years ago would have known He wasn't coming back then, right? Right. 500 years ago, they would have known He wasn't coming back. But by God letting it be removed, kept them on their toes. Kept them on their toes, right? See? But books are full of that. But again, He has no teacher to teach them. You understand? That's why. Because why was that big find of all these scrolls? Why? If they didn't do anything with them. Really, they didn't do anything with them. Again, what did they do? Mary Magdalene, Da Vinci Code. Which, what did that do? Turned so many away from the church. Turned so many away from God. That's what they did. Devil knew that. Enemy knew that was going to work. That was his. Okay? Because again, he slid some of his own in there. And what did that do? Because then people couldn't tell what was God's and what was the enemy's, right? What was true, what was false. So they discarded them all. So, true teachings, the the good stuff in there, that would help us a lot. Uh, in the world, they're not credible. So, you really have to have divine discernment on those. You really do. But I have no doubt, absolutely, whole books should have been put in there. Wasn't in those scrolls. But again, false ones in there too from the enemy. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. And totally discredited them all. So, okay, now, but don't just when these days come, you can't go into your bed and not get out. You can't get all. You can't do it. You can't. I know it's hard because it's so disappointing for us. And I'm not saying it won't. Okay, I'm just saying after these days come and go, these certain dates, that the high watch dates, I see just so much heartache, in people, severe heartache, and they don't know what to do. So you're gonna march on, march on, but you have to always know we just right there, right there. But I love that the mustard plant is planted in April and harvested in May. Planted in April and pulled in May. I love that. Love that. So we pull them. Bride pulls them. Okay. I don't know. That's good. But what I really want to talk about was we were talking about Jesus had told us that he had within a 7-hour period on the day he died, the day he was crucified, right? During that time up to that, in a 7-hour period, he had 6 trials. 6 trials. So that's 6 seals. Remember, it's going to follow a pattern, right? It'll follow a pattern. So when it starts, is those 6 seals going to be, or 7 seals, going to be all released on one day? Think about that. He's going to mimic, right? Follow pattern. He said, and when he teaches something, it's always specific. It's far. I told you, it's for a reason. It's a clue. He's telling us something. It's not. He just doesn't say something just to say it. He says it because he's given us manna, right? He's given us stuff in plain sight. That's what always that is. It took a couple months for us to get that, okay? But then we did get it. Woo, it was great. But so he had 6 trials within a 7-hour period. I kind of tend to think maybe that's 6 seals or 7 seals, 6 or 7 seals, whatever you want to, but at least 6 seals released in one day. It's gonna get bad. Gonna get bad. Gonna get bad. And it's like in that day, so it would be like in that hour, when it says the U.S. is gonna fall big. It's gonna fall big time. Big time. I don't know this. I don't know this for fact. I don't know. I know double judgments. I know the U.S. is going to get it. I know we're going to be judged. I know other nations are too. Okay? We're really going to get it. Bad. We're going to get spanked really bad. I know the invasion's coming in here. Know that. And I know that it's going to happen fast. And it, boom, when it comes not going to be one thing and then another. I mean, it's going to happen fast. Fast. And so the Bible says falls one day. That's us. That's us. And again, I tend to think, I'm thinking out loud here. Thinking out loud. So please don't nail me to the tree. that, um, I think that the United States, or the Gentile, okay, United States, however you want to say, I think that started in 2007, and I think that the 2014 Blood Red Moon is more for us. And I think next year, 2015, is for Israel. I could be wrong. Israel could get it. We could get it every single time. You know? I don't know. But I mean, I just think the 2014 is big for the other nations other than Israel, that's going to be judged, and have a wrath. That's what I think. So, I don't know. Could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. I told you again, everything he does and says, specific reasons. You can look at the Bible now and find, all through the New Testament too. You can find where he's speaking, and he'll say something, and you may have read it over and over and over. You know, we know what the parables are, right? And so you have to understand the layers, the different layers. And sometimes now when I go back and I read things, I know exactly what he's talking about, because that's what he's saying. He's taught us how to see those. I mean, of course we know they're parables, but I mean the other layers of them, the other meanings of them, you know, and how to look for that. Crazy good stuff, though. Great, crazy good stuff. So I just think it's a, you know, wouldn't it be great though? Wouldn't it be great? I mean, really, wouldn't it be great if I don't know, something really was going to start on the 15th? Let's just say hypothetically. Hypothetically, this is totally off the books. Okay, it's not on the record. It's hypothetically, it's me speaking out loud. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know any of this. But wouldn't it be great? 15th, Passover, Blood Red Moon. If that started something, okay, and he came to get us 3 days before that, wouldn't that be great? Wow, that'd be great. So what would that be? You know, that's what my mind's always thinking. You always have to count that 3 days before, right? Because we know that 3 days of darkness kicks everything off. So, 3 days before, I don't know. I could just sit and think about that all day long. But there's a reason he also told us all of this stuff to prepare us for the high and lows, for the ups and downs, because he knew we wouldn't understand. He knows how we go. We're in the moment. Oh, we're in the moment, you know, and that we would get there. But so he said, walk in peace and joy, and always have that. Always have it. And remember, like I said yesterday, others are looking, whether you know it or not, and you think they're watching. You know, I mean, they might be sitting there rolling their eyes and not wanting to, you know, oh, God, please don't sit by me because you're going to talk about God. You know how they are. Oh, please. Oh, she's going to sit by me. Oh, she's going to sit by me. Oh, no, no. She's going to give me a Jesus talk. She's going to give me the end of days talk. Oh, God, no, don't sit by me. We sit right there by him, right? It's those ones, right? Those ones that were saying that are going to be the ones that first remember. What did they say? Okay, what were they saying? What did they say? What did they say? What did she say? What did he say? What's going to do? You know, she was always so happy and so full. I mean, there had to be something there. So they're going to wreck their mind to think about that. Okay? It's going to be those ones that says, oh, please don't sit by me. Those ones. You always got to let them see it. What do we care? What do we care? Really? Why do they care? They're not our judge. He is. Okay? As long as we do. I know it's hard. It is hard too. It's hard to open your mouth because of the ridicule in the world. It's hard. Did you guys see this? I don't know what state it was in. I saw it. It was all over the internet. This student wrote, had a big fat red F on their paper. Did I say this yesterday? I'm having a I'm having a sometimers moment, but I might have already said this, and I'm sorry because I'm getting old. And when you're old, you repeat things. But she got a big fat F in red on her paper, and it said, "Take Jesus out of it." She had wrote a story on who influenced your life. Who that this person was. They had to write who they looked up to or influenced their life or had the greatest meaning or one of those. And she wrote about Jesus, or he wrote about Jesus, whoever it was. And teacher laid the paper down, big fat red F. Take Jesus out of it. Did you ever think I knew it was going to happen because I read the Bible, and the Bible said, everybody would be persecuted for his namesake, right? So I knew that was going to happen. But boy, just to be here and watch it, I can't believe it. They're not even one. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. What I'm seeing. And see how fast this is gone? This is taken off. Oh, 6 more months, who knows? Who knows? That Bundy Ranch, you know, um, where all of the the militias going up there now, the people that they're standing for the United States. I mean, the old United States, the one that we remember, because it started with the cattle, and they want this guy's land, so they thought they were just going to go in and easily take it, but they didn't. But all the bad stuff that they did, thousands of no, I mean Christians too. I mean, they're fighting for their rights. There are thousands of them gone up there to help this rancher and his family. This rancher and his family. If you don't know nothing about that, look it up. It's incredible. You don't see hardly enough of it on the main. You get more of the Malaysia flight than you do this, and this is ongoing. I mean, we're talking guns out there. Everything going on. It's big. It's big. I don't know what the plane thing is. I don't know what it is. I don't know. We know it's something big. I don't know what it is. It has meaning. I don't know what it is though. So then it's like with Benghazi. When that first happened, I will tell you this. When that first happened, I find all of these links that are 20 miles hidden, okay? And I read everything. But I remember probably about maybe a month, 3 weeks or a month after that happened, I read a story from someone who said it's about a kidnapping gone wrong. That's what they said Benghazi was. That if I've said this, I'm sorry. I'm repeating myself too. But Obama wanted to release this Islamic prisoner that's being held by the United States. He was going to release him, but he couldn't release him, just release him. So all of those Muslims are Islamist. Okay, I'll say that, Islamist, who attacked the embassy and killed our ambassador. They were assets. That's what they're called. In CIA, there's a handler, right? Handler, and there's assets. And most of all your false flags, your things that happened, they're done by assets, okay? Well, that group that killed that ambassador and stormed that embassy, they were assets, CIA assets, meaning they worked for our CIA. So, but he said that it was going to be they were to go in and kidnap our ambassador. Whether or not he was supposed to take any more, I don't know. But I know at least the ambassador. And once they had him, they were going to demand the release of the prisoner, this Islamic prisoner that we had in the United States for our ambassador. Okay? So it was set up from the get-go. But that's how they couldn't just release him. But we get one of our ambassadors kidnapped. Now we got a deal. See? Now we're going to get him back. That was the plan. But what happened was, and that's why nobody was really paying attention to any of that, because it was supposed to be a done deal. But the general who heard the call, and he said, we're in the area. I can get my SEAL team together, and I'll be there in an hour. And the White House told them to stand down. He told that general to stand down. But that general's on the radio, so he knew all this was going on. And he's like, "Oh, we're there. We're in the area. I have a team there in an hour." White House told him stand down. He didn't stand down. He didn't. He got his team together and went there. And what happened was, when our troops who weren't supposed to be there got there, the Islamic group didn't know what was going on. Okay, and it wasn't the deal here. Okay, so they thought that we double crossed them, and that we had sent in our troops to kill them. So they thought we double crossed them, is what they thought. So that's why they turned around and did what they did. I mean, that horrific damage that they did, because they thought they'd been wrong. They thought they'd been set up. Now, doesn't that make more sense? So after I'm reading this, I'm like, that's what happened. I bet you that's exactly what happened, because it totally makes sense. None of the other made sense. I mean, yeah, you can say the gun running and all that. I get all that stuff too. I understand that. But this makes sense. Okay? This is why they're not going to ever come out and tell you why. Oh, because we set up a kidnap? No. See, this makes sense to me. And in my spirit, I could be wrong. That guy could be wrong, right? Could be totally wrong. But to me, that makes sense to me. So, I mean, again, somebody wants to, they come out with the truth, but they're not going to come out with the truth, because they never come out with the truth. It's never the true truth. But anyway, he said that's what it was. It was kidnapping gone wrong. And so they thought they were double crossed, and then that made them more mad. That's why they just did those horrible things. They were mad. See, it was different. It turned. They got mad because they thought that they were betrayed. And think about that. When people think they're betrayed, it takes them to a whole nother level, right? And so, and that's what it was. And that general, he was fired. He was let go. Oh, that was bad, because he responded. He wasn't in on the plan. Wasn't in on the plan. He didn't know. Terrible, terrible. How many times that goes on? I don't know if I never was a conspiracy theorist, I'll tell you that, but I am now. I will admit it, I am now, because, not like they are, but I did my own homework. Okay, 9/11 years. I was on that years. Went through everything. Sandy Hook, same thing. I remember just bawling my eyes out for those babies. Oh, I almost had to go to bed for 2 days over that one. I was just devastated. Right away, though, those false flags, you knew. If you followed that and you knew, first of all, those Facebook pages, were put up like 2 days before the shooting. Okay, the memory, they were done 2 days before the shooting. Also, when the story that Gene Rosen came out and was talking about how the bus, this flags, how the bus with like these 12 or 13 kids, and the bus driver let them off and let them come into this strange 60-something-year-old man's house. I don't know, school teaches stranger danger, don't they? But yet, here's the school, here's the fire department right by the school, and then here's the man's house. Now, all the stuff is going to the fire department. They wouldn't drop those kids off at that fire department. But a 60-year-old whatever man? No. Nobody's ever going to do that. I don't care what you say. Nobody's ever going to do that. But I started doing searches on Sandy Hook, like right away. Do you know I couldn't find anything on that school before the day of that shooting? No. I was looking up a school schedule, yearbook pictures, just anything. Anything I could find for that school. I couldn't find one thing till that day of that shooting. But, did you notice too? We all have kids, right? You go to your kid's class. How many different age parents you have there? Do you know every single, I won't say every because somebody proved me wrong. Let's say almost Every single one of them parents were 40 and plus. I mean, like 40 to 46. They got first graders. Were they first graders? First grader, really? How many 40 plus year old, when you go to your kid's school, parents are there in there? Really? Almost all those, notice that, almost all those kids, their parents were in their 40s. Really? But the best one is, the very best one, do you know that every single home in that town is paid off? Did you know that? Every house in the town of Sandy Hook is paid for. They were all paid for. All, if you go to the Recorder of Deeds records, I don't pick one. Doesn't matter which one you go to. Even if you pick the city hall land, if you pick anything, every bit of land, every business, every house in that town. December 25th. Now, can't remember if it was December 25th, 2011 or 2012. Okay, I can't remember that because I'm old. But I'm sure it's filed back. I got like a file in my mind, and then something triggered, and I'm like, and I have to bring it forward. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. It's like a file system up here. But look it up. Look it up. It doesn't matter if they bought it last year. It doesn't matter. Everything is paid for December 25th. It was either like 2011 or 2012. Really? 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 How about that? How about that one? You know, again, I could go on days on this one because from the get-go, I was right there with him. I go on days and tell you all that. I mean, it's, yeah, but no. No. It's I don't think one of them children. I mean, I think they're all alive. And the Lanza mom, okay, who was shot, right? That Adam Lanza, I don't even think really existed either. But the Lanza mom and the dad, well, they live together. Okay? And again, you can hit her name in and his name and Peter in, and you can see their other names and the things and where they live. She's alive. You know, crazy things, that internet, crazy things. How, it's those connecting things. You know how you connect the family? They are. I'm not going to get into that, but whoo, go on that. Yeah, I absolutely, no. After the first 2 days of that initial shock, and then, I don't know, I pretty loved much when you're watching, this was the dead giveaway for me. As in the days followed, I'm watching all of those parents who lost 6-year-olds. 6-year-olds. I don't see anybody crying. I see almost trying to cry, and I noticed that. I never saw the cry. I'm a mother who lost a child. I can't talk about it without welling up and having tears. So, these people were talking the second day they lost a child. No, it doesn't go. No. I would tell you, in those first days, you might be in shock, but you'll look at people and start crying. I mean, every time you open your mouth, you can't even. So these people are going on television, and they're having them in their house, and they're like, no, no. I know my 6-year-old child. No, they did not want guns. They were for gun control. Really? How can no. I'm sorry. No, wouldn't have been like that. Wouldn't have been that. I wonder. She liked balloons or color. Well, yeah, because you remember everything wonderful, but that is not real. They have not lost a child, or that wasn't their child they lost, because those parents could have never spoke like that. I'm telling you, they could have never ever spoke like that. When you lose a child, no. That was no. And I noticed that right away, and I go, what kind of drugs are they on? I go, what kind of drugs are they on that none of them are crying? I mean, they tried. They tried. I give it to them that. They tried. They couldn't. They couldn't. None of them could. None of them could. You know? None of them. And that's when you know they didn't lose anybody. They didn't lose anybody. Shame on them. Shame on them. They're crisis actors. Again, FEMA puts out, U.S. government puts out ads all the time for crisis actors, and they like when you have, if you have an amputated limb, or a disfigurement, because in the scheduled exercises that they're doing, they like that, okay? And they'll go on there, and you can watch, and they'll even say, we might put on you fake blood, and we'll put a prosthesis on you that may look like one of your limbs has been blown off, and hello, right there. There's always ads for them, those crisis actors. But it was when that Gene Rosen, that older man that kept getting up, that he was the name, the one that the little kids from the bus, was when I found him on the FEMA ad from Texas. He's right there, in the pictures with another little girl, and they're talking about how they go to schools. They were practicing if there was a shooting in a school. How about that? You have no idea. Before I talk about anything, before I make it, I got to learn. I got to read everything I can. Again, I did. But the parent thing right there, that was a dead giveaway. I lost a child. I know what that feeling is, and none of them had it. None of them had it at all. None of them. No, they didn't have it. So, what kind of world we live in now? It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. See, every single step has been perfect timing for where we're at now. Perfect timing. It's all for a reason. That was all good for gun control, right? To get our guns. Same thing as the Aurora shooting. There's no way that guy could have did that on his own. And a zillion witnesses saw multiple. And you notice that look in their eye. It's always the same. The look in their eye. He couldn't have done that on his own. He could have done it on his own. Same thing. I'll tell you, Boston bombing. Don't know how they pulled that one off, but if this has never entered your mind on that, think about this. When it was happening, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, somebody, like that. But then, okay, after that initial, oh my gosh, what happened? I'm seeing pictures of them wheeling the man that had both of his legs blown off. There, right? I got like smacked into, it was like wake up, I see them pushing this man in this wheelchair that had both of his blame. He's got his arteries hanging out. I'm not a surgeon, but I sure know that when you pop an artery, both of them like that, and now they don't even have him laying down. They got him sitting up in a wheelchair, pushing him. Absolutely not. First of all, oh my God, that blood, he's going to have lost so much blood so fast by just even seconds of him being laying there, okay? Let alone to be even conscious up in that wheelchair like he was. It couldn't happen. It's not physically possible. Again, ask any doctor. Ask any doctor what happens when those main arteries are severed like that. There would have been blood. He would have been soaked in it. Anybody around him would have been soaked in that blood. I mean, it would have been an absolute bloodbath. Absolutely. Couldn't have happened to him. Was he a double amputee already? So, research all that. Research all that. Let common sense lead you. Let common sense lead you. Again. Okay? And put all that together. Assets. Government has assets. And with those two boys, I don't know about those two brothers, right? That were killed. I don't know about them, but I do remember that first day day. Arlo, please. Oh, please. I do remember that first day, that mother of those boys, it just came out. She said, what do you mean? That couldn't be. Arlo, please. Patience with him. Just give me patience. Stop it. I threw a pillow at him. Anyway, right after that happened, when they went to that mom, I don't know what the story is there, and I'm not saying that I even pretend to know what the story is there. But what her first thing out of her mouth was, there's no way that they could have done anything without the FBI knowing it. Arlo! I gotta throw something at him, I'm sorry. Stop it. I'm sorry. I don't know. What do you do with him? He's obviously not going to graduate his obedient school. So, in that moment, she said, if they were involved in anything, the FBI would have known it because they have been in contact with my boys for the past 2 years. She said, there's nothing that they would have done that they wouldn't have known about. There's no way they did not know because they were connected. See? That was like her first reaction when all that happened. And I never forgot that. Her saying that. You know? And then later on we heard all these different stories where they were, were assets. They probably didn't have a clue. They were only told what they needed to, what they were to be told, regardless of their connection, over to Russia or wherever it was. I'm not even getting into all that. I'm just saying I'm going by that mother's first statement out of her mouth. I'm going by all of the unreal, literally unreal stuff that happened there. Okay. Throughout that, all that didn't make sense. None of it, again, there's no sense in any of it, okay? And what are the odds of this? But I always remember that mom saying that. There's no way. And it was her initial, she didn't have time to think when she said it. It just came out, okay? I don't even know if they still have that on camera, but I remember watching it. I remember those words. She said, she's been working with the FBI. FBI's for the past 2 years. There's no way they could have done something like this without them knowing. So, Arlo! No! 15 pounds of who knows what over there. So, I don't have anything else to throw at him. I really don't. I don't have anything else to throw at him. Stop it. Not like I'd hurt him anyway, but I just want to get him off. So, also, you think the CIA would take Arlo? Be an asset? Think? I don't want to be his handler. No. Anyway, I love him. What are you going to do? I always wonder if he's just senses something, bad out there. I don't know. Anybody else's dogs or animals going nuts? Because he sure is. He don't want to go outside anymore either. It's like something spooked him. But anyway, my last thing on this whole bombing in Boston. Remember when they were going out in Watertown that night and they were searching all those houses, right? Right. Okay. Now, I don't know if you might notice this. Did you notice all those houses? The one house they go into, and they got the television cameras and they're interviewing, is this woman. Oh, I don't know. Just happened to be the same woman. What are the odds of this? What are the odds? Same woman that they interviewed right after the bombing downtown by the marathon. What is the odds of that? You know how they were interviewing people? They were interviewing her at the bombing. But yet, when they're in Watertown over there and they're going all those houses, it just happens to be her again that they're in her house and interviewing. They think we're so stupid that we just wouldn't recognize that woman? One time she had glasses on, one time she didn't? Really? I don't know. Do I look the same? Could you notice, And then Could you not know that was me? Really? See? Blindness, you know. I just think we're so stupid, but everybody's watching it and doing nothing. That's why that militia that went up to where's it, ranch in Colorado, is it? It's out west. But that Bundy Ranch, you know, they went out there. They're doing something. See, because everybody knows all this is going on, but nobody's doing anything. Now you understand how all that stuff through the tribulation is going to happen because nobody's doing anything. We're sitting here, we're watching all that happen around us, and look, nobody's doing anything. So, boy, they're going out there for that Bundy Ranch, though. Mm-hmm. They're helping that man. They're helping that man. But one more thing on that Boston thing too. I don't know if anybody caught that too. That night of watching that on the news on CNN, and they were talking via phone to somebody, and you know what picture? They gave a different name, totally different name, but the picture they put up was the dead principal from Sandy Hook, and they never corrected it. They never said, "Oh, we have the wrong picture." Nothing. That picture of that woman was up on that screen as this woman was talking. See, I don't know. Gotta catch those little things. Gotta catch those little things. If you haven't checked into that, you need to. You need to. You really do. Learn. Don't. If you don't believe, you don't have to blame me, but do your own. Just like on 9/11. You know. Why is there records? I don't know. In Cleveland, Ohio, of that plane. It's just so much, so much, so much, so much. But it's all shows stuff set in motion. Okay, and do think about those people that are left here? Okay, when it gets worse, that was just setting up the stage for everything else. Okay, it all had to go, you know, as it went to set everything up for right now. You know, and that's kind of like what we're going into right now. The stage is set. Stage is set. Don't know when. Anyway, 52 minutes. Oh, I'm planning on doing that long. Love you. God bless you. Fingers crossed. See you soon.